crafty friend. Good morning. It's not morning, it's evening. Good evening, crafty friends. Can you tell I'm confused? I hope you've had a blessed start to the week already. If you're watching on replay, please hashtag replay so I can talk to you, know that you were on here. And if you are new, invite you into the Whimsy Bunch and let me know that you are new. And I appreciate you hopping on to see what we are creating and crafting. Let me pull you up on my iPad because I've got my phone backwards, so I cannot see comments on my phone. So let's see where we are at. And obviously I'm slightly confused. Can't tell morning from evening. It's been a day and I was not able to come on yesterday. We had Little Bristol yesterday afternoon, and when her daddy came home, we had noticed that the water, it had completely gone out and then it came back on. So he was checking on the well and the water, and he had some fixing to do. It was not a water leak or busted pipe. It was just the well and some sediments in the filter, and have to purge the tank and things like that. But so he was doing all of that, and we stayed with Little Bristol so he could take care of all of that. That's why I didn't come on yesterday, because we didn't know how long it would take. We didn't leave there till around 7-ish, so that is the reason why I wasn't here yesterday with you. But I am here today. I'm looking forward to creating and crafting with you. And we are going to take just a bamboo plant stand. It has the grooves in the back, and let me turn you down so you guys can see. It has the two pieces that fit together this way, and then you put the top on, and we'll do something with these later. But we're going to start working with this first, and this is just that bamboo board that you can get the cotton board, and I've got this at Hobby Lobby, and that's what they call it, big spring plant stand. And I don't know if it has plant weight not to exceed 25 pounds. Excuse me. And it is 9.8 inches by 9.8 inches. And you can also get a bigger one. I got the smaller one, but they also have bigger ones, or they did have. Because I had this one in my stash. Hello, Sherry. So, now I need to know from you guys which background we're going to use. We're going to use the backgrounds from Melissa Bradshaw. They're called Background Textures, and that is in that big bundle of hers, Rustic Charm, that has been restocked, and individually it's available also. We can do the bubble background and just put that on. I am not going to paint this. I'm leaving it the way it is. So this would be the bubble background. I call them bubbles. And I would do that in blue chiffon. And then we're going to put a flower transfer on here, and I'll get to that here in just a moment. So we could do this. I don't know if it is in the camera. I can't tell, as a delay. Or we can do the Crackle background. And this is Traditional Burnt Umber, in the Traditional Burnt Umber, and then put our flower transfers on top of that. So which one should we do? Hello, Barb. So should we do the Crackle background, and I will do it all over the top? Or should we do the bubble background? I'll call it bubble background with the blue. Let's wait a few minutes to see comments. And while we're waiting on what you guys think we should do, I'm going to go ahead and put flowers on the sides. I am not going to crackle this or put paint on this. I am just going to take a bunch of these flowers and add them to the sides for our stand. So we can go ahead and do that while you guys decide if I could get this transfer off of here. Alright, I gotta see. Okay. This, and then that. Alright. I'm gonna make sure I keep these the right way, because if I don't, then they'll be upside down. The Crackle, okay? Miss Barb, the Crackle one or the, I call them bubbles, or paint splatter. Which one do you think? And if you haven't hopped over to Essential Stencil, check out their restock. They've restocked a lot of stencils. And I am using the flowers out of this Rustic Summer Flower set. They are gorgeous, gorgeous flowers in here. And if you have not hopped over, they got several bundles. Tammy Muto's bundle has been restocked. The Dragonfly Dreams. Melissa Bradshaw's Rustic Charm has been restocked in a bundle. You can also get them individually. Melissa Miller's hat stencils have been restocked in a bundle. I think there's a spring bundle. There is Spiritual Words. Who was the other bundle? Oh, Miss Amanda Dillon's beachy one. I cannot think of the name of it. Her beach one has been restocked. I will seal the top, but I am not going to do the bottom, the two bottom halves here, because I just don't think it is necessary to seal the bottom. But the top I will seal, and I will show you after we get everything on there what I am going to use to seal that with. Try to get this on here. And we have one vote for the Crackle background. Miss Barb, do you have a vote? Crackle or the bubbles? I call them bubbles. Scoop that over a little bit. I just think this will be a very fun, you don't have to use it as a plant stand. You can use it any which way you see fit. You can make it just a little stand to put a drink on. As long as you don't put over 25 pounds weight on there. You can use it as a riser. You can use it in your kitchen. There's many different uses, I can talk, for that little stand. And that's what I like, because it was just so versatile. I just like the size of it. You can put a beautiful candle on there with a pretty candle ring. You can set it on the table and put your spices on there for when you eat. You can put different spices on there. And there's all kinds of different ways that you can use this. Uh-oh. See what happened? I lost the flower part. So it just popped up. So I'm going to try to fit this back in here the best I can. Then I'm just going to take my fingernail and rub it in. And there we have a good safe. Hey Carlene, Crackle. Yes, it has the bricks. It has the wood look, the crackle, the bubbles, and I'm not sure what to call this pattern. Linen pattern maybe, or burlap pattern. You can create like a burlap look. That's what that reminds me of, like a burlap look. So it has all of them in here. It is 5 different patterns, and I love that set. And don't forget, all the individual restocks are 15% off. The bundle is 20% off, and you can still use an ambassador code. So if there is something that you missed out on the first time, or maybe it sold out too quickly and you didn't have a chance to get it, now is the time to get it. And my code is WK21. If you need a link, I've posted the link for both of the things I'm using tonight in the comments or in the header. And my code is WK21. But if you need to get to the Essential Stencil page, just do !ES cheesecloth. Yes, that's a great idea. I mean, that's a cool pattern. I love that pattern set. I mean, you get so many different patterns in there. Or background set. Anytime they have backgrounds or alphabets, I try to get them because they are so versatile to use. So !ES will get you to the Essential Stencil page. And it helps me out, especially if you have rewards or gift card that you can use. Use the link, use the !ES, and it's just helps your ambassadors. And like I said, I would appreciate that. And then my code, you can do !code, and it will give you my code. So is everybody thawing out? I've seen Miss Carlene said she's happy that it is above freezing for a change. It was cool this morning. It was below freezing. But during the day, it warmed up. I don't know what the official temperature was, but it felt like 70 degrees. It was a sunny, warm, beautiful day. And I had to change clothes because I got too hot with the other clothes I was wearing this morning when we went to the doctor's appointment. So, beautiful, beautiful day today. Okay, I had to make sure I put these on the right way. there's those two sides. And I got to make sure that I put them on right, because this is the way it goes in. And then the top sits on here. So I got to make sure that I put the others this way. So let's do these two. Let's see. These two here. And these two there. I'm trying to not have them on the same side. Yep, I can do that. That was my other goal. And this is a good way to use up all those extra blossoms that you might not know what to do with. You can put them on something like this. And it's just a fun way to dress this little piece up. And who doesn't like to have flowers in their house? Like I said, it is a plant stand. This came from Hobby Lobby. They have a different size. This one is the 9.8 by 9.8 size. And if we want to, I've got a couple of leaves. We can add some leaves to here if we want to. One thing I did not do, I did not use alcohol to clean the surface. I did sand it a little bit. So if these don't stick, it is a possibility that there were some oils on here, either from handling or from production, and that might be why they are not sticking. It's always good to clean your surfaces. To make sure before you adhere any transfers that they are wax-free, oil-free, and even oils from your hands, lotion from your hands, free and dry. If you've used paint or stains, just make sure that everything is dry before you try to apply any of your transfers. And these transfers here are from last year. I did not use them. I ordered a couple of packs and I have not used this one. So it is still working. It is still adhering, even though it is from last season. So now that more of you have hopped on, I was asking which background do we want to use? Do we want to do the Crackle all over? I'm not painting this, I'm just adding the background. This is Traditional Burnt Umber. I was going to use it with the Crackle. Or do we want the paint splatter bubble kind of look with blue chiffon? And then we're going to put a flower transfer in the middle. So that was the question. We've had already a couple of votes for the Crackle. I'm going to give you an opportunity to vote, and I will look here in a moment to see what the results are. 75 today. Hey, Miss Bonnie. It should be in restock unless it is sold out. I just looked and I didn't see that it was sold out. It is also in Melissa Bradshaw's bundle that was restocked. If somebody wouldn't mind checking to see if it is available. When I checked, it was. So hopefully it still is. I'm making sure I got everything on here. Got stuck to my hand. And I've got a couple of bigger flowers and a couple of smaller flowers. And all of these came out of that same set, Rustic Summer Flowers. I'm hoping that that is not sold out yet, because I really like that set. It is so versatile to use. Like I said, if you are new to stenciling, anytime you can get a background stencil or an alphabet stencil, grab them up, because they are so versatile. You can do so much with them. And a lot of times the big 12 by 16 backgrounds have a smaller one in there, so you get more for your money that you can use on a smaller surface and on a big surface. And then you can put words over top, transfers over top. And you don't have to use, if you have background stencils, you don't have to use the whole background. For instance, with this one, I could just do this one and go around in a circle and just only do that one bubble all the way around. I don't have to use the whole one. The same, I can just use the bigger one and go all the way around in a circle. I don't have to use it the way it is intended. You can always just use bits and pieces. This one, for instance, if you have a square piece, you can just do the corners. You can just do the corners and then use something else in the middle. That's what I'm saying. They are so versatile. There's so many different ways you can use these background stencils. And depending on what colors you use, they will look different. You can paint your background and then use the stencil on the top. You can leave your background natural or stain it and then use a lighter color for the background stencil. The possibilities are literally endless. Alright, so we have this side done and this side done. And while we are on a roll here, let's do this one. Just make sure that you know which way they go together, so you know which way to put your flowers on here so that they will not be upside down. In case you're new and you don't know about transfers, when you peel your backer board off, boop, it has a dull side and a shiny side. If you need to put this back on, let's say the phone rings and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? Put it back on the shiny side. You can always lay it back on the shiny side. Do not pick it up by the color parts. Pick it up where there is no color print on there, because anytime you touch this to a surface, whether it's your hand or the surface, it will come off. Sometimes you can get lucky and it doesn't, but most likely it'll come off. I hover over it. I'll lay my hands down on my fingers, and I hover and see which way do I want to put this. I want to put it this way. And then I lay one side down. I'm still holding it with my hand right here. And I put my finger in the middle, let it go. And then I push out from the middle. And then I use my tool. This is also from Essential Stencil. My Essential Stencil rubbed off. This was the October Breast Cancer Awareness one. The regular ones are blue. Essential Stencil blue. I rub that on, and the same thing with this one. Leave enough room around the print so that you can hold on to it after you peel it. You just peel it back like this. You hold on to it. Peel this off. That is your shiny side. If you need to put it back on the shiny side. And I've got a trash can under there. Hold on to the edges that don't have a print. And then you can just put your flower on and go from the inside out. I sometimes don't think about that there might be new people watching. They might be watching on replay. They might be on here with us, and I don't explain things well. Oh, what a blessing. What a praise report, Miss Bonnie. And thank you for checking that it is still in stock. Awesome. I am so excited. Thank you, Lord, for answered prayers. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Remember, I'm coming to hang out with you, girl. You can't be getting sick on me. You cannot wiggle yourself out of that. Just kidding. Just kidding, just kidding. But talking about prayer, if there is anybody in here that has a prayer request, that has a need, you don't have to put on here what it is, because this is a public forum. You can just put prayer request. The Lord knows, and we will gladly pray for you. We will pray with you. You can private message me, and I will gladly pray for whatever need you have. If you ever have a part on here that is stubborn and doesn't want to stick, go to another part of your transfer and go from it from a different angle. Sometimes that makes a difference. If you cannot pick this up, take a piece of tape and pull it up lightly, not harshly, lightly with a piece of tape. I just think these flowers are just so pretty on here. And you can go around, if you want to add more design, you can use a, what is mine? You can use a dotting tool and go around and put dots on here. You can do squiggly lines to enhance the look. You can use a gold or silver or black or any color that you like, Posca pen, a paint pen, and do little squigglies with dots or dash marks. There are so many different ways that you can outline something and just bring a little bit of extra to a piece. Do you have any other suggestions, things that you can use this little stand for, or how you can decorate it and make it unique? I mean, you can use it to put your coffee cup on it, or to sit your cell phone on it. What other suggestions do you have to use this little plant stand for besides plants? I mean, I could see it in the kitchen corner of your counter with a couple of coffee cups. You can probably fit 2 or 3 coffee cups on there. And maybe a little candle, a little votive candle. You could put a little basket with tea bags and maybe a little container with sugar packets like Splenda or the pink or the blue one. And put them in one of the little crates from Dollar Tree. Dress that up or just stain it. Then you can put your little tea bags in there and make a little tea station. Put a little cup with some stir sticks. Ooh, yeah, cake or a plate of appetizers. I can't wait either. I'm so excited. I told my husband, every time we go on vacation or go somewhere, he normally has some kind of hospitalization or something going on. And I'm like, kidding. I said, if you didn't want to go, all you had to do is tell me. You didn't have to go put yourself in the hospital. Or I tell him, I said, you're going to be out before we leave. I'm going to make sure you're going on this trip. So I keep joking with my husband. He's notorious for ending up at the doctor's office with something for one reason or another. And I'm like, you ain't getting out of this so easy. Well, we're just joking. But one time we literally did. We had a beach trip booked, packed, ready to go, and I can't even remember how long ago that was. And he was in the hospital, and he literally got discharged the day that we were leaving. So I literally had the car packed, picked him up, and off to the beach we went. I said, you can recuperate when we get there. That was many, many, many years ago. I love our family trips. I'm all about creating memories, and any of these pieces that we create, I always say each piece has a story behind it. You know, these flowers might remind you of your grandma's garden or your mama's garden, or when you were little and you helped your aunt or somebody. So these pieces can hold stories that have been written on your heart. So that's what I am trying to convey with these pieces, that they remind you of a time or a place or something that you used to do with your mom or your dad or your grandma or your siblings, and or maybe it reminds you of a trip somewhere that you've been. And I love wildflowers. I've always loved wildflowers. Wow, that's awesome. You know, a little candy dish could sit up on here too, to keep out of reach the little ones. But there's just so many different ways that a piece can tell a story. And that's what I try to do. I try to have my pieces to remind you of something, to tell a story. That's just how I feel about this. Like, if these would all be roses, then that would remind me of my dad, because my dad grew roses. So that would remind me of my dad. And that's just what I love about it. It's just they have stories to tell. Do you have a flower garden or had a flower garden? I love Miss Becca's flower garden. Be painting with Becca. Oh my gosh. I just love her flowers. I could just sit in her garden. Or, oh my goodness, I can't think of her name now. She is on the Essential Stencil of the Month page on Facebook. She does all the canning and she makes teas, and I could just listen to her and sit and learn all kinds of stories and things that she has to tell and say. Just fascinates me. Shayna, I could not think of her name to save my life. And I think that's why I like old things, antique, vintage, because they have stories to tell. They had a really special life. I've got a lot of different things. I didn't realize how many roses. What are staghorn ferns? Are those the ones that look like antlers? I love ferns. I am not good in growing ferns. My dad was real good with the roses. He cultivated his own. He would do cuttings and add them and create new roses, not professionally, just privately. He was also very musically inclined, which I did not get a drop of musical inclination. It passed me up. But I had a flower garden very early on when I was growing up. I loved flowers. We're almost done with all of these, and then we can get to the big piece. What is your favorite flower? They need water daily. Maybe that's why I can't grow them. Oh, thank you, Carlene, for the stars. If those antiques could talk. Exactly. You know, and I'm always interested in what is it? What was it used for? Some of the stuff I have no idea. And it's just interesting to me. I mean, I have got, I don't know if they're called shoe molds or shoe things. They got the wooden part from the front of the shoe, a little metal, looks like a spring almost, and then a little ball. I think you put them in the shoe to keep the form of the shoe, to keep it nice. I have a set of those. I have no idea where I got them from. It's just a unique piece to me. I've got weird, strange pieces that I even don't know what they really were. I just like the history and the story behind them. And like Miss Bonnie said, what if they could talk? My daughter likes old stuff as well. The only thing old my son likes is cars. He likes old cars. He's got he just loves, and he knows a lot of the history and the stats and all the cool things. And like a lot of people have the football or sports, he knows cars. So we can go down the road and I said, what kind of car was that? Or my husband and I, several years ago, came out of a restaurant and there was a car. And I asked my husband, he's like, I have no idea. I said, Brendan will know. So I called my son up. Okay, it looks like this and it has this and that and whatnot. And he's like, oh, that's a yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And there's one side. And there's the other side. My mother-in-law can do the same thing. She can see older vehicles and she's like, oh yeah, that's that kind of vehicle and that's that kind of vehicle. And I'm like, you guys are amazing. And if we decide later we want to, I've got a couple of leaves we can add if we want to. All right, and we all decided on the Crackle one. And I'm just going to randomly add this on here. And I did have an F in the corner for front. You can barely see it anymore. And I am just literally going to just random, total randomness. No rhyme, no reason. I'm using my 5/8 inch brush from Essential Stencil. Nice flat brush. Dip it in. Then I'm going to swirl it into the bristles. Now it's swirled up about this much. It's still too wet. I'm going to go swirl it in a little bit more. It's still too wet. Don't go to your stencil like that. And just offload. And I am going to take a piece of tape and just tape this on right here. And then we'll just randomly crackle this. And I wanted to leave the bamboo. I did not want to, whoa. My tape did not hold. I'm going to have to dry that real quick because if I put that stencil back on there, I am going to end up smearing it. I'm going to have to get me another piece of tape. Well, that literally just moved on me. I'll get another piece of tape to put on here. Tape is your insurance policy. You need tape to secure your piece so it will not fly away like mine just did. Now I'm going to hold onto it and go over it. And I don't even care if it is on here solidly. I want it to look like it's been around for a while. So some cracks might be darker, some might be lighter. Has anybody heard from Miss Kimberly? I kind of miss her. Hopping on. I know she used to hang out with us. In the middle, I am not too concerned about the coverage because our flowers will go on there. And we're going to have to decide what flowers we want. I want your opinion. I've got something that we can put together, and then I've got something that we don't have to do much to it. If you're afraid you're going to go over the edge, just put a piece of tape on here. Oh, that looks cool. I want to dry that. And if you see, it is in different shades, a different variation of color. There's a little bristle. That is not a repeating pattern, it is just a crackle pattern, so we're just going to lay it on here the best we can and continue the crackle. I'm just going to go from here to here and then add the rest in. And that's why I don't mind having the different color variations on here. Because that way it really looks like aged crackle. We'll get some more paint and offload some more. Sometimes you can even go to your offload spot right here and pick up some more paint if you just need a little bit. There is sometimes enough paint on there that you don't even have to go anywhere else. Just pick it up right there. I just love this pattern. That is so cool. Now we're just going to finish it out. Got me a little bit more, and this was Traditional Burnt Umber. That is the color. Load the brush. Okay. I love daisies. Yes. I've got some peonies in the garden. Daisies are my favorite. Definitely my favorites. I learned to love roses. They didn't used to be my favorite. Like if somebody would want to give me roses for Valentine's, I'd say no, wildflowers or daisies. My favorite flower is, I think you guys pronounce it freesia. It is very, very fragrant and just fantastic smell. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Since I had the tape on this end, I just moved it to where the tape was. Let's see if we can get it a little bit darker on the bottom right here. Just to have a little bit of variation going on. We got one more section and we'll be done. Yeah, I was just wondering about Miss Kim. She's been on my mind. If anybody ever crosses your mind, pray for them. There's the reason why the Lord is laying them on your heart. Anytime you reposition your stencil, make sure that you don't have bleed on the back side. I know I have not really been doing that, but that helps to make sure that there's no bleed. Like check and see, I don't have any bleed on the back side. I am going to dry that real quick so that I can just put that one little section down. You know, this almost looks like it is wood burned. There's a really cool effect, unintended effect. I'll just go into my offload pile here. I still got a little bit on my plate. Looks good to me. Does that not look cool? I'm gonna get out a wet wipe, disinfectant wipe, Clorox wipe. I use the Members Mark. I buy them in bulk at Sam's. Wrap your brush up in it, so if you need to use this color again, it will stay moist. Or for cleaning purposes, I just wrap it up. I am going to dry this really good because we're going to put our transfer on here. And while I am drying, we can either put just this one on there, like here in the middle, with a couple of beads around it. Or we can use this one and add a couple of extra flowers in there and make it bigger. me sand that off real quick. You know, you can also use this as a hot plate. Put your pot on. The reason I looked at it is I want to make sure that I've got it to where my flowers is going to be in the middle. So we can do this one. And then I've got a couple of bees to put on here with it. There's option 1. Or we can do option 2 and add these on here to fill it up a little bit more. I would have to look and make sure that it looks nice and add the bees on here with that. So option 2 or just the little one, option 1. Thank you, ladies. Red roses. Yes, it is beautiful with blue. I like irises too. I have some. Option 1. All right, got an option 1. Just very simple. And then I'll stand underneath. All right, 2 for option 1. Let's do option 1. I'm going to go back over this with my sanding block real quick. I want it semi in the middle. I like this one because it has all the mix of the flowers that we added, well, on the other one. On the sides. And you could have used a little bit of a lighter color. Your transfer would have shown through better. But I was okay with that. Because to me that looked like wood burn, or I forgot what it is called. But the lightning one that they do with the wood when they, I think they kind of like shock it with like electric current. That's what that reminds me of. So we got that done with a stencil. My camera keeps bouncing. It's like it keeps focusing in. Is it doing the same thing for you guys? That's annoying. Don't know why it's doing that. I'm sorry, folks. I have no idea. I haven't changed a thing. So I don't know what that thing is doing. Just start at one point and just keep rubbing it in and lifting, rubbing it in and lifting. And I go all the way around because I want to make sure that all the edges are down, and then I'll lift up and meet in the middle. Got to put this in first. Sometimes you can actually see the transfer discolor a little bit. That means it is getting more of a grayish color. You know that it has transferred. but it doesn't do it all the time. Depends on the colors and on your background. And this will make a really beautiful gift for someone. Maybe with a little vase or a mason jar of flowers. If you're fortunate enough that you have a garden, you can just pick them out of your garden and surprise someone with a little flower stand and a mason jar full of beautiful flowers. Just trying to give you some gift ideas and thoughts on, you know, what you can do that is handmade, that might be extra special for someone. Just some little extra tips. And can you believe it? We're already almost in the middle of February. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I hope all of you ladies have a blessed and amazing Valentine. And then St. Patrick's Day in March. And then it'll be almost Easter. It's not going to take long. Easter will be here. Go around this way so we can get to the other side and meet back up in the middle. For those of you that don't know, all my pieces are available. If you've missed the live you're watching on replay within the next 30 days, if it is afterwards, you can hop over to YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. I invite you to subscribe and like. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel over there. That way you have opportunities to see everything there, since it only lives on Facebook for 30 days. You can hop over to YouTube and check it out. If you need to revisit a project or see how that was made, they are all on YouTube. So if there's something that you've missed and the 30 days are over and you're like, man, I know she done that. How did she do that? You can hop over and watch it on YouTube. And while you're there, please subscribe. And thanks for sprinkling this out. I always say sprinkling out the whimsy. We would love for other friends to join us, to be part of the Whimsy Bunch, so that they can learn and be a part, and maybe they're even interested in joining us on Soul-Filled Saturdays. We had a few new ladies join, and I'm always thrilled when we have new ladies join us on Soul-Filled Saturday. That's where we are going through a book. It's called I Am Enough by Dr. Kimberly Moore. And it is a really good lesson plan to learn more about who you are in Christ, how the Lord sees you, how the world sees you, and to learn that you are enough. So if that is something that is of interest to you, you want to learn more about the Lord and how the Lord sees you, please join our group Saturday mornings, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and grow in faith, learn more about you, learn more about the Lord. I mean, it has been really amazing journey. I have learned a lot. It is interactive. We all share things. We pray for one another. And I just love seeing us grow in faith together. And that is also available on YouTube to watch anytime. I keep forgetting to mention that I am on YouTube so that you could watch it there. And it is under Whimsically Knotted. Is that not pretty? Now we're going to put this together. And what I've found to be the easiest is turn it over. Put this in. And then here is our little stand with all of our flowers on there. I can't see what you see. I am going to turn the camera up a little bit. And that way I can maybe see better what you see. Doesn't that look cute? Just imagine that sitting on your kitchen counter with whatever you want to put on here. I mean, you can even use it in your craft room and put paints on it. You can put it in the bathroom and put your little makeup brushes and things on there. Just so many things. And if you want to use it for flowers, and again, here's all of our sides. Or if you need to use it in a moist or wet environment, I am going to put Bright Tone top coat on here to seal it, and I just put one little coat on this because I'm going to turn this into a coaster, and I don't know if you can see that, how shiny that is. This is just one coat and it's already coated it really well. I'm going to do the same thing on here. You can put that over transfers because that's a decoupage paper and a transfer, and I'll put that on there to seal it. I'm going to put something else on the back side, and then I'm going to seal the sides, the whole thing. But, you know, see how shiny it is? It will be the same thing. This will give it a sheen, and then it'll be waterproof, and you can sit whatever you want on here. Thank you. I love this little stand. I just think it's just something simple. Oh, I forgot to put our little bees on here. I gotta put the little bees on there. Let's see if we can add the bees. We got this one big fat bee that's been eating a lot. He is gonna go in the flowers. He's been a hungry little bee. He's going right there. The others are probably going to disappear into the background, but that's okay. Well, I was getting ready to say I got to get a piece of tape. Sometimes I do better just using my fingernail. I feel like I have more control. And there you see, we could put a transfer over a transfer. Where's the little ones? There's the little guys. And this little guy's coming in from the bottom. This would be a good puzzle for a little child. Find the little bees. I play with my granddaughter, little mazes and little search and find, or see the differences. Can you find the differences? And she can spot things like there's no tomorrow. Like, I'm still looking and she's already found everything. But she loves to find the differences. Hope you enjoyed this evening project. I know that I most of the time only do one project, but I like showing you in detail, beginning to end, how to do something. And the reason why I'm not sealing it, it takes a long time to dry, so I wouldn't be able to show you on a live on how to apply that. But it is really easy. I just used, this is the brush I used to apply it on that coaster, because I'm turning that truck into a coaster. And it was really easy. And I got that True Tone or Bright Tone off of Amazon. And that is the same thing Miss Renee with Flip Flop Furnishing uses. Look at our little bees. Like, can you find the bee? I just love the little flowers on the bottom. You could use grapevines around it, so many different things. She is a cutie. She is a ham, and my goodness, she is just, she's something. She's like Brandon. She's her daddy made over. That's what her mama says. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is what it looks like, and this is just one coat. They recommend 2 to 3 coats, and this is what that is called. It is called Bright Tone High Solid Top Coat Clear Gloss. I don't know if it is available in matte, but I'm okay with the high gloss. And that way it will be waterproof. You can set something on there that is wet and it'll wipe off real easy. All right, ladies, that is all I had for you today. I hope you will have a fantastic rest of the week. I got to see, we've got an appointment on Thursday, so I'm either going to try to come on Thursday or Friday. And have a blessed, happy Valentine if I do not see you before then. And I pray that Cupid is good to you. You have a blessed evening, and hop over to Essential Stencil. Melissa Miller is back, and see what she has for us at the top of the hour. And you have a blessed evening. Thank you so much for hopping on and for spreading the whimsy out.